We're back. THS Media Crew. It's Rodell Wyatt.
Griffin Hernandez with BBC Broadcasting.
BBC Broadcasting coming back with the return as we start our wrap-up from the jamboree for the season that we're going to be having a lot of features from our boys baseball team. We got our first baseman,
Trey Stone.
and second baseman.
Toby Bingham.
We got some key players here.
Also a special guest appearance.
John Dye.
The GOAT, the best slept-on pitcher in the city. So as we start our season here, we're talking about our recap of our jamboree. And as I played the Titans, they had a pretty good performance, in my opinion. They had some downsides, but, in the game, there's always going to be downsides this season, but we try to look at the positives. And so the first question I have for Trey, what do you think was the positive thing, one of the positive things you guys did in your two games?
Definitely our pitching. And then we had a few errors on the field, but we're mainly strong up the middle in the outfield. So our defense came into play, and then our offense towards the end. What game did you say again?
Oh, the Lee Summit West game specifically.
Towards the end of the Lee Summit West game, it was we took more of a better approach at the plates and got some more walks and a couple more hits than the first game we played.
Thank you, Trey. And so, Toby, as you spent a lot of time in the infield playing second base, what do you think something specifically that you could work on this upcoming practice that you've seen in yourself in the game and you could work on this week in practice?
So I could work on my turns at second base and just always being in the right spot defensively, and that'll just help us be more successful on the field.
Yeah, it's always good to be in the defensive spot, make some stops for the team. And John Dye, the GOAT. So I don't know about your playing time, but I know it was probably a lot since you're Division I talent. But John Dye, what do you think from the dugout that you saw were some positives from the team at the jamboree?
I really think our pitching did pretty well. I think we showed a lot of promise in the outfield as well. I thought the way that the outfielders were able to get the ball in quick in our relays, I thought were really well. And I think we just got to keep working.
That's what I like to hear. Thank you, John. And so what I've heard, and from my own personal scouting report, that the catching, it was not to the Truman standard. It was pretty well, but could have been better. And so not to single anyone out, but as a team, what do you guys think all the people that play catcher could work on this week in practice to be better for your first official game?
Definitely setting up for the pitchers. Because I was talking to someone after the game how the pitchers, they would set up inside and the ball's on the outside. It just like a ball every time. So more setting up for the pitchers mainly, and then also getting some blocks in there. That way we can keep the ball in front of us.
Definitely. So setting up would definitely help us better. So let's move on from the negatives because we want to look at a positive. Since it was a jamboree, mistakes can happen. You can try to be better. Toby, personally, as yourself, do you think your hitting was well this jamboree?
Well, at the Green Valley game, I only had one at bat, but I walked. Both my at bats in the Lee Summit West game, they were quality. I struck out both times. But the first kid, he was throwing a nasty cutter thing, and I just had to make an adjustment. And then I got rung up on a call that I just didn't necessarily agree with on the second bat. But I mean, you learn from it, and you just keep making adjustments to succeed.
That cutter is a killer, but as long as you just see it a few more times and keep working, I think you'll do a lot better, Toby.
Me, I would hit that butt. Anyways, Toby, businessman, Deca. How did you transition from Deca to baseball?
Well, I was living that Jordan Belfort Wolf of Wall Street life. I was at Crown Center. I came home. I drove out to Lee Summit West. I downed 2 Reigns, ate 2 Cliff Bars, and that's all I had for the day. And I still balled out, But I guess I just attribute all of my success to the movie The Wolf of Wall Street.
That is a great movie. And so as you talk about balancing the school life from DECA and baseball, do you think it's ever been hard for you to balance, DECA and baseball?
Well, this is the only time it necessarily intervened where it made it difficult. But I mean, we got out of DECA early, so it was cool. But both are definitely a good experience for my future, so I wasn't really that worried about it.
That's great. So, we don't want to get sidetracked. DECA is a good event, but we're going to lean it back to Trey here. Trey, so since you were at first, do you think you personally played to your standard at the jamboree for first base?
Yeah, for all the plays I got, yes. Except for my hitting aspect. My defensive skills, yes. But for the hitting aspect, I just Obviously, my more skills is honestly on defense and hitting because I can't get the bat around right now. But if I get the bat around and can get my eye on the ball, I'll be pretty set in shape for the game.
Right. So you did hint at the hitting. So I believe that you could be a pretty good hitter. As I saw one of your home runs last year, it was pretty nice. A lot of power behind that. It's the Mo West strength.
No power.
I'm gonna go play football there. But do you think you'll be able to have enough power this year to hit a lot of balls for the team?
If I can get my bat around and connect with the ball, yes, I believe I could be a very successful hitter for the team.
That's what I like to hear. John Dye, as you know, you expect to have a lot of at-bats this year. And if not, you try to make an impact when you do get up there. Do you think you'll be able to have some pretty good hitting for the team this year?
Power hitting's not really my strong suit. My 130 frame is not really ideal for power hitting. I think I really just need to work on getting my hands through the ball and making contact. And, Dustin Pedroia was always good at hitting the ball hard and getting it to the outfield. So that's pretty much all I aim for.
All right. Question from BBC Griffin. Who is a pitcher, like a pitcher myself, top high 80s. Who is like a pitcher you guys are like, can't wait to see perform this year?
Dawson Torpy, and surprisingly, I love him to death. He's my friend since elementary school, Rona Padola. Because he has some good pitches. If he can just get his, what's it called? Not location. Is it location, I guess? Yeah. There's a different word.
Rona's only problem.
Control location. Yeah, control. Command. If he can get his command down, then not Rodo, but then Rona would be a very great pitcher for us.
Thank you, baseball players. It sounds like you guys had a pretty fun time with the Jamboree, and we hope you guys succeed a lot this season for the Truman baseball team.